But a very small background for users as to what happened yesterday and why it happened. It's very important to understand that on May 30th, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is Singapore's, sort of like the FIU of Singapore, they take care of registration, licensing, KYC, AML for all crypto exchanges in Singapore. So on May 30th, they put out a document. They say that, hey, if you are a Singapore exchange, without license, you could not serve Singapore citizens, which is okay. But starting from June 30th, thereafter, you cannot serve non-Singapore citizens also.
Hmm.
So this came out on May 30th. Now this is very important because Singapore as a country was started to, be used just to, run shallow exchanges across the world and then come to Singapore courts and ask for restructuring. And predominantly based on the information that I have, this has all happened because of crypto exchanges opting to do restructuring in Singapore and Singapore's reputation being called into question that, hey, look, you are not giving them license, you are not regulating them, but then you are passing restructuring scheme. So when the country's reputation is at stake, that is when MA stepped in and it told, enough is enough, we don't allow it anymore. This was a very big move from the regulator because the moment this happens, now the court is stuck because if you see from a court's perspective, the application that was from WazirX side was for restructuring. Now, in
Yes.
restructuring, what happens is that it is basically a debt settlement. You tell the users that, hey, I owe you 100 rupees, but I don't have the money. At the same time, I want to save my business. So just take this 10 rupees. Here is the court order approving me to pay you 10 rupees, and you don't ask any further questions.
That's
So
why
that
they
is what
call it
happens in a restructuring.
everywhere.
Yes, that's why they call you creditor everywhere, whereas you're not a creditor. So when this happens, when a restructuring happens, you always put the business first because your intention is to save the business, not to repay the creditors. That may be your second, third, fourth priority, does not matter. First priority is to save the business. Now, because it was a restructuring application, we told the court that, they want to save the business, which is okay. The court may agree to that. We are nobody to tell the court what to accept or not. But one thing the court should consider is that even if you allow them to start a business, they cannot do so because from June 30th, they do not have a license to operate this exchange.
True that.
So which email we had sent to court on 2nd of June, 2 days before the hearing. And on 3rd of June, court sent a letter to WazirX asking them question that, what is your stand on taking registration in Singapore and taking registration in India? To which WazirX replied to the court on 4th of June, early morning before the hearing. Their statement was, and I will tell you, you will also be shocked. They told the court, we don't want to take a license in Singapore. We are moving everything to Panama. And we
There
don't
was a
even want to take any license in India. No, I mean, the sheer audacity to tell the court which is sanctioning your scheme, a Singapore court sanctioning scheme to a Singapore company based in Singapore, you are telling them, you approve the scheme, thereafter I will go to Panama and I will run my business from there because I don't want a license from Singapore. So that is what the court felt that you somewhere do not have honest intentions because why would you do that? Why will you not take registration in the country which is approving your restructuring scheme? So I think that
yeah.
was the very first question that the judge asked in the hearing that have you ever told me about the Panama company? And WazirX told no. But the fact is the court found a fact that on 10th of March the company was incorporated by ZI, which is the Singapore company of WazirX. And on 12th of March, they created the scheme document. So scheme document is basically WazirX telling the users of the platform that what will happen if the scheme is approved by the court. So
So
they
it's
had
all
2 days. Yes, the court's question is that you planned everything, but if this regulatory change had not happened, then you would have never told the court. Forget about creators. You are keeping the court in the dark on what are your plans. So that is a big finding by the court, I would say. And it's because in Singapore, everything depends on your reputation and the honesty that you put forward to the court in actually doing what you want to do. But I think that is where they failed. They lied to the code. They concealed some information. I think that led to that was the biggest reason why the code did not agree with whatever they told.
Crypto products and NFTs are unregulated and can be highly risky. There may be no regulatory recourse for any loss from such transactions.